Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Claudia and today I'm going to be guiding you through a Hatha flow. So Hatha is the more static physical yoga practice where we allow ourselves to stay in each posture for about 4 to 7 breaths. So we get to know the posture a bit better because we have some more time to just adjust in the posture and feel how our bodies are feeling in each asana. And I want you guys to keep in mind that it's nice to have either a block or a pillow near. If you need some extra support, it's always a good idea to keep some props around you. And if you experience any pain or any discomfort, allow yourself to exit the posture slowly, and you can find into a nice child's posture and take some time, and you can always come back into the practice. I want you to know that exiting an asana is not a failure, that is actually succeeding, because that is you listening to your body and respecting your body's boundaries. So we're gonna start with a nice breath work called 3-part breath. So I want you to come into a cross-legged position, grounding into your sitting bones, feeling heavy in the lower part of your body as you adjust here on the mats, feeling the earth beneath you. Staying heavy in the body, light shoulders, taking a nice deep inhale in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. One more inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Allow the shoulders to sink as you soften your gaze. Feel how the palms are resting onto the knees. As you arrive in your space on your mats, create the safe space around you on the square that you're on. As you leave any expectations outside of the room, you can just come as you are in your practice. Take in another few inhales and exhales through the nostrils, breathing all the way into the belly. From the crown of your head down to the sacrum. Feeling how the air is traveling through the spine, energizing the body. Now you can release away the palms and place them onto the lower belly. So in 3-part breath, we start by breathing into the belly. So let the palms rest onto the belly and take a nice deep inhale all the way down. Hold the breath, place the palms onto the rib cage, take another breath. Hold your breath, place the palms onto the heart center and take a sip of air through the mouth. Hold and exhale through the mouth, release the palms. So when we do this breath practice, try and imagine climbing a ladder. So each time you inhale, you move the palms closer up to the heart center. And allow yourself to stay in the breath, and then you exhale as you climb down the ladder. So palms onto the belly, inhale. Hold, move the palms to the rib, inhale. Heart center, sip of air through the mouth. Hold, exhale. Perfect. Let's try doing this a few times. And remember that you can always keep your eyes closed to get even more into your internal body. Feel how the belly and the rib cage is expanding as you inhale. Two more times. Final round. Very good job. Now let's continue on with the physical asana practice, and remember to exit the posture slowly. If you're feeling any pain, listen to your body and respect its boundaries. So I want you to just uncross those legs, place the feet over to the left side of the mat and place the right foot on top of the left knee. Now take a nice inhale as you look to the top of your mat and lift the palms all the way up, lengthen through the spine. Exhale as you twist the chest and the torso over to the right side, extend through the fingers and gaze over to the back of the mat for 4 full breaths. Press into those fingertips, lengthen the spine all the way from the sacrum up to the crown. 1 more breath. And exhale as you come back to center. Now you can flip the feet over to the right side of the mat and place the left foot on top of the right knee and look to the top of the mat. As you inhale, reach the palms all the way up. And exhale, twist the chest and the torso over to the left side, extend through the fingers and look all the way to the back of the mat. And keep lengthening that spine nice and tall. And press into the fingertips to open the chest. Final breath. And exhale all the way back to center. Now extend out the left leg to the top of the mat and keep the right knee bent over to the right side and place the right heel into the left inner thigh, the left groin. You can just adjust your body here, finding those sitting bones. Now inhale as you extend the arms to the sky. And exhale as you begin to hinge here from the hip. And you can place the palms into the ground underneath the shin and draw the belly down into the left thigh. And you can always keep that knee nice and micro bent. As you let go of the crown of your head and let the torso be heavy for 4 full breaths. Lengthening all the way from the heel up to the sacrum, up to the sitting bones. Final breath. And exhale, come all the way back to center. Now extend the right palm to the sky and let it come all the way behind you. You're going to press into the ground, squeeze into the glutes and come all the way up onto the right knee and extend the left palm over to the back of the mat. Squeeze into the glutes for 4 full breaths. And lift the hips high to the sky to engage the core. Final breath. And exhale, slowly return down onto the sitting bones. Now this time you're going to extend out the right leg and bend the left and place that left heel into the right inner groin, inner thigh. Adjust onto the sitting bones, grounding them down. Inhale as you extend the palms. And exhale as you hinge from the hip, and you can place the palms into the ground underneath the calves. And allow the torso to be heavy. Let go of the crown of your head. And draw the belly closer to the thigh. 4 full breaths. And exhale, release the palms, extend the left palm to the sky and all the way behind you. Now press into the glutes and come all the way onto that left knee. And let the right palm come all the way over to the back of the mat. Gaze to the back of the mat, squeeze into the glutes. 4 full breaths. Open up those hips, over to the side. Final breath. And exhale, sink down the sitting bones and come all the way back. Now grab onto the left foot and place it over to the right side of the mat. Press into the floor as you allow space to bend the right knee. And now you can try and stack those knees, and you can always place a block here underneath the knee. But keep the knees nicely stacked and let the heels come over to the sides of the hips in your Gomukhasana. Now extend through the arms. Bend that left elbow and hook it around the right and place the palms together. As you look to the top of the mat, Press those elbows, squeeze them together for 5 full breaths. Really root down the pelvis into the ground, press it down to feel that stretch onto the hip. As if you're pushing the chest forward to the top of the mat. Squeezing everything together. Final breath. And exhale, you can release those arms, unhook the elbows, and slowly let the left foot come over to the left side and release the right. Now allow the left heel to come over to the right side of the mat and allow the right heel to come over to the left side and stack those knees on top of each other and feel how the heels are touching onto the hips, and extend the arms, bend into the right arm and hook it underneath the left elbow. Place the palms together, press the elbows forward, squeeze them together, root down the pelvis. Find that tall and neutral spine for 5 full breaths. And exhale, release the arms and release away those legs. Now place the feet together and allow the knees to come out to the sides of the mat in your butterfly posture. Now you can decrease the space between the heels and the pelvis by moving the pelvis a bit closer to those feet. And now you can wrap around the feet, open the chest all the way up by squeezing the shoulder blades closer together, opening that chest bone beautifully to the sky, feeling an opening on the groin area as well, as you stay heavy into the knees for 4 full breaths. Letting the belly come closer to the top of the mat. Slightly tilting back that tailbone. Final breath. And exhale, release. Now bend into the knees and place the palms onto the floor. Let the fingertips face the top of the mat, and now release away the feet from the floor. You're going to squeeze the knees into the chest and wrap around the calves. As you press those knees firmly into the chest, and you keep your shoulders pressing back for 4 full breaths. In your beautiful boat posture. Final breath. And exhale. Let the feet come back into the ground and let the fingertips face the sides of the mat. Press into the floor. Squeeze the hips as you lift the pelvis all the way to the sky for 4 full breaths in your reverse tabletop. Allowing the knees and the shoulders to be parallel to each other. Opening up the body to the sky. Final breath. We're going to stay here. And exhale. Now start to extend out the left leg and release the right palm. Slowly finding your balance, extend the palm all the way to the sky and extend through the toes all the way to the crown of the head for 3 full breaths. Rooting into the left palm. Final breath. And exhale, plant down the foot, plant down the right palm. This time root into the right palm and lift the hips up high. Now extend the right leg and release the left palm. Extend the palm to the sky and extend through the toes all the way to the crown of your head. 3 full breaths. And exhale, release. A nice balance in posture. And you can let the sitting bones come into the ground. Now flip the feet over to the side and roll all the way onto the knees and onto the palms in that tabletop position. Now we're just going to warm up those wrists. So you can place the fingertips pointing all the way to the back of the mat and start to sink the hips down onto the heels. And look here to the top of the mat for 4 full breaths. And exhale, release away the fingers and allow your sitting bones to come all the way onto the heels and keep those feet nicely tucked. Now this time place the back of the palms onto the rib cage underneath the armpits. And you can squeeze the elbows closer together to the back of the mat for 4 full breaths. And as you breathe, feel how the rib cage is expanding as the air is entering the body, and exhale as you deflate. 2 more breaths. And exhale, allow the palms to come back into the ground. You're going to keep those feet nicely tucked. Take another inhale. And exhale as you lift the hips to the sky. Extend all the way from the heels up to the sitting bones in your downward dog. You can walk that dog as you bend into one knee at a time. Firmly press the palms into the top of the mat. Feel how those shoulders are activating here as you root the feet and the palms into the ground. Now we're going to come into stillness here on the mat. And as you inhale, you're going to extend the right leg to the sky. Feel how that foot is extending all the way through the toes for 4 full breaths. Squeeze the right glute. And keep your chest nicely squared to the middle of the mat. 2 more breaths. And exhale, plant down the right foot. Inhale as you extend the left. For 4 full breaths, squeeze that left glute. And exhale, plant down the foot. Now allow the right forearm to come into the ground and allow the left forearm to come into the ground. Extend out the fingers and root down the palms and walk the feet closer to the top of the mat. As you inhale, extend the right leg to the sky for 4 full breaths. Keep squeezing that glute to extend the leg up furthermore. Final breath. And exhale, release down the foot. Inhale, extend the left leg. 4 full breaths. And exhale, release back down the foot. Bend into the knees. Allow the knees to come out to the sides. Extend the feet and sink down the hips into the heels for 4 full breaths. Rest down the forehead in your child's posture. Breathe down into the belly. Feel how it's rising between the thighs. As you come back into that soft and calm breath, final breath. And exhale, release away the sitting bones from the heels and come all the way back into that nice tabletop position. Now fully extend the fingers out and root into the ground as you're almost clawing into the floor. Extend that left leg, extend the right leg, and allow the shoulders to come above the wrist and come on to those tippy toes in that high plank. Gaze between the thumbs for 5 full breaths. And press the belly button into the spine to engage the abdominals. 2 more breaths. And exhale. Now look over to the right palm and step the right foot all the way over to the right palm. Look over to the left palm and step the left foot all the way over to the left. Now allow the heels to come facing each other and the toes can come out to the sides as you sink down your pelvis, your sacrum into the floor, and place the palms at heart center and squeeze the elbows into the knees and open your chest high and slightly tucking that pelvis under for a nice full opening of the groin, of the hamstrings. Take 2 more breaths. Very good. Now look over to the left side and extend the left palm into the ground over on the left and extend the right palm all the way to the sky. Now you can start to bend that left elbow and hook the back of the palm onto the hip. Now bend into the right elbow and place the palms together and hook the fingertips around each other and find that nice bind. And press the right shoulder all the way back. Look to the back of the mat for 4 full breaths. And exhale, slowly release and come all the way back to center. Take a nice full grounding breath, palms at heart center. And exhale, look over to the right and extend the right palm into the right side and lift the left palm to the sky. Look all the way up. And now bend into the right elbow and hook the palm around the hip and bend that left elbow. And you can come into a beautiful bind here. Press those fingers together and look all the way over to the left shoulder onto the back of the mat for 4 full breaths. And keep those feet nicely rooted into the ground to keep balance here. And keep those feet nicely rooted to keep your balance stable here. 2 more breaths. And exhale as you slowly come all the way back to center. Now place the palms into the ground and take a nice inhale as you lift the hips to the sky. And exhale, release the upper body, release the crown of the head, stay heavy into the chest and the torso. Allow the crown of the head to sink into the ground as you draw that belly down into the thighs, and you can keep the knees nice and micro bent in that forward fold for 4 more breaths. Feeling those hamstrings releasing. Feel how the fingers are floating on top of the mat. Final breath. And exhale as you sink back down the hips. Now root into the palms and step the left foot all the way to the back of the mat and step the right foot all the way to the back of the mat. Take a nice inhale. And as you exhale, lower the body all the way down into the ground and come on to the belly. Extend the feet all the way to the back of the mat and bend into those elbows. Find a nice 90-degree angle of the elbows. And firmly press into the palms, squeeze the glutes and open the chest to the sky. Feeling how that back side is working as you press those glutes firmly together for 4 full breaths. Now we're gonna tuck the toes and gaze between the elbows. Now lift away the thighs and the pelvis from the ground and find that low plank. So keep the hips nice and low and gaze between those elbows for 5 full breaths. Focus on the breath all the way into the belly. Final breath. Now place the right palm onto the left underarm and shift the weight of the body over to the right side. Extend the left palm to the sky and lift the hips up high to engage that oblique. Now you can lift away the top leg and extend all the way through the toes and gaze to the left thumb for 4 full breaths. And exhale, release down the foot and release down the palm and come all the way back to center. Now this time place the right palm onto that left underarm and roll all the way over to the left side. Extend the right palm to the sky and extend the right leg for 4 full breaths. Keep the hips lifted all the way to the sky. And exhale, release the leg, release down the forearms into the ground and come all the way back into the middle. Now place down the left palm and place down the right palm and take a nice inhale. And exhale as you lift the hips to the sky. Inhale, lift the right leg all the way up. And exhale, curl the knee into the chest and place the foot between the palms and stay onto the high point of the back foot. Now reach the palms to the sky in that high lunge. For 5 full breaths. You can sink a bit deeper into the right knee. And you're going to extend all the way through that left leg, feeling that quad. Strong back foot pressing into the ground. 1 more breath. Now as you exhale, rotate down that left palm into the ground and place it next to the right foot. Extend the right palm all the way up and gaze to the right thumb. For 4 full breaths. Twisting the chest over to the right side. Final breath. Now you're going to step the back foot closer to the top of the mat and start to extend that right leg and press the chest all the way over to the right side of the mat for 4 full breaths, rooting down those heels. Final breath. And as you exhale, cupcake the left fingertips over to the left side of the mat. Release away the left foot and keep squeezing that chest over to the right side of the mat. Rotate all the way from the core up to the chest and up to the shoulder. And allow that palm to extend. Press it all the way up for 1 more breath. And exhale, plant down that foot. Plant down both palms and step the right foot all the way back next to the left. Take a nice big inhale. And exhale, lift the hips up high. Now inhale, extend the left foot to the sky. And exhale, knee to chest and place down that foot. Now stay on to the high point of that back foot and reach the palms all the way up. Extending through the fingers, sinking down into that left knee. For 4 full breaths. Strong back foot, really tucking those toes under. Final breath. And exhale, allow the right palm to come into the ground next to the left foot and rotate the chest over to the left and press the left shoulder over to the right side. Gaze all the way up for 4 full breaths. Very good. Now step the back foot closer to the top of the mat and start to extend through the left leg and keep twisting your torso and your chest over to the left side. 4 more breaths. Final breath. And as you exhale, you're going to cupcake the fingers over to the right side and start to release the right foot and keep twisting that chest over to the left. Focus on the twist and push that left shoulder over to the right side of the mat for a nice deep twist. 1 more breath. And exhale, plant down the back foot and frame the front foot and step that left foot all the way to the back of the mat. Now bend into those knees and place the feet over to the side and come all the way onto those sitting bones. Now we're going to roll ourselves all the way down through the vertebrae, so extend the palms to the top of the mat, tuck the tailbone under as you roll through the vertebrae, come all the way down onto the back. Very good. Now start to bend into the knees and place the feet together as the knees come out to the sides of the mat and place the palms onto the inner thighs. And slowly start to inhale and exhale through the nostrils, only focusing on that breath flowing in and out. Keeping your eyes closed if you're comfortable here. Connecting with the breath and the mind. Staying soft in the body and light as you flow here on top of the mat. And feel the ground beneath you, underneath the shoulder blades, the spine, the lower back, and the feet. For 5 more breaths. Now you can start to extend out the left leg and use the left palm to guide the right knee all the way over to the left side. And you can move the left hip a bit more over to the right side to allow some more space to twist the body. And start to extend the right arm over to the right side of the mat and shift your gaze over to that right armpit for 5 full breaths. And you can always place a block here underneath the knee for some extra support. Keep the breath flowing into the side of the body. 1 more breath. And exhale as you come all the way back to center. Extend out the right leg and bend the left knee and use the right palm to guide the left knee over to the right side and move the right hip over to the left side of the mat. As you find that deep twist, and extend the left arm and look over to the left armpit. As you expand the left side of the body, take 5 full breaths. And slowly start to come all the way back to center. Now I want you to bend into both knees and squeeze the knees into the chest with a nice inhale. Lift the forehead all the way up to the knees. Hold the breath and take a sip of air through the mouth. And exhale. Release out the legs. Let the feet come out to the sides of the mat. Extend out the arms and let the palms face the sky. And you can roll the shoulder blades underneath the back to root down the upper back into the ground. As you stay heavy in the body, sink into the floor. Allow the palms to stay soft. Keep the fingertips bent. Let go of the feet, the legs. As you enter into your Shavasana, in complete stillness of the body, and thank yourself for showing up on the mat, to take time for yourself in your mind and your body, and your soul and your spirit. And you can stay in your Shavasana for as long as you need to, reconnecting with the body. In this quiet state of mind. You can take all the time that you need. No rush, no stress, just you on your mats, letting all distractions fade. As you take this time that you deserve, just to be quiet. And I thank you guys so much for joining today's yoga class, and I hope that I will see you again soon. Bye!